Good evening, family. Good evening.
All right, family. Good evening, good evening. So we are absolutely back. Sorry about that, guys. So we are back with another episode of The
The
Cannons
cannon's
Still
still
Standing.
standing.
And you already know, it's your boy Jonathan.
And this is Sarita.
And we are The Cannons. Guys, we just want to take the time to thank you for, sticking in with us. We're still getting our feet wet with this whole podcast thing. But we're still so excited. We're still pumped up as never before. We got a very exciting podcast show for you tonight, and it's called "How Do You Keep Going After Losing So Much?" And I think this is just a powerful, a powerful question even for you guys. You might be going through something in your marriage, or you might be going through something that you've been through, or you maybe you're single and you may have just been through so much, but how do you just keep standing and how do you keep going? So we definitely want to touch base on that. And as you guys already know, I love to start off with a powerful scripture. And we're going to go right into Ecclesiastes 4, 9, and 10. Uh, give you guys time to get there. So it's Ecclesiastes 4, 9 through 10. And it reads, "Two are better than one because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up. But pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up." And I think for me, the scripture pretty much just outlines a big portion of even this title. How do you keep going after losing so much? And I think for me, the part that sticks out is just two is better than one. Me thinking about some of the situations that me and Srita went through over. Have we been together for
16 years.
16 years,
Yeah.
married for 9.
Almost 9 years.
Almost 9 years. And, we've had so many great times. But me and Sweet have had a lot of bad times too. Especially after way before becoming disciples, of God. And I think the scripture, for me, another part that sticks out is if either of them falls down, one can help the other up. And I've seen so many different times where um, I fell down so many different times, y'all. And Sarita was there. She had she had such a level of patience that was so, like, I still think about it sometimes and I just be like, it makes me cringe because it's like, man, how did you have patience through that? Or what made you want to continue to pursue me, after everything that we put each other through, or after everything I put her through. And of course, if you guys are just tuning in for the first time, I dealt with alcoholism. We've dealt with the loss of our daughter, Deja, um, the loss of her mother, not too long ago, the loss of my grandmother. So we've had so many different losses, and one thing that sticks out for me is that me and Sarita continuously just come right back to each other. I've noticed that even over the years, it's like I so many times I knew it was over. Like I was like, oh, it's a wrap. It's over. Like we're definitely not going to get back together after this situation. And we'll go through some situations too. We'll go through some things, alternative events that actually led up to so many different times where it was like, oh, I know for sure I am absolutely done with this guy, or I'm done with Sarita. Um, but this is just such a powerful scripture. And do you want to jump into something?
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that scripture. That's a scripture that I definitely held on to for a long time because John and I, we've been through a lot throughout the years when it comes to grief, just disappointment, um, and just one of the biggest things that I did was I would numb out. Um, and my way of numbing was turning to alcohol. Um, and I'm grateful that, God had to show me like that wasn't the way. Um, I'm grateful that God continued to strengthen me, and that I was able to cling on to Him. That He helped me keep my eyes focused on Him and not the world.
Yep.
Because I was definitely, I was out there. I was doing a lot of worldly things. So I'm grateful to God that He took me out of that situation, and that I'm, just He just transformed my life. Like, I'm so grateful for that. But yeah, this scripture really, I'm grateful for you sharing this scripture, because when one of us fell short, the other one was there to help lift that one up.
For sure. For sure.
If I fell short, you were there to help lift me up. If you fell short, I was there to help lift you up. So
yeah.
I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that one of the things that I've learned through marriage is to always keep God in the forefront.
First.
Always keep God first in your marriage, because once you don't keep God in the center, things, it just falls apart. And then you have people, you have outside, like family, friends, in your ear. I had to learn that too. One of the biggest things I've learned is always just to keep family and friends out of your marriage.
Yeah. Very true.
Everything that happens in your marriage, that has to be between you and your husband and God. But I'm grateful that we're talking about this, because, we had a lot of struggles throughout the years, and I was, we both of us, we were venting to like friends, family, and stuff. And
yeah, definitely.
I'm grateful that we are able to seek advice in the kingdom, from our shepherds. And I'm so grateful for discipleship, because we're able to seek advice from married couples that that can give us advice when it comes to our marriage. So I'm grateful for that. But yeah, thank you for just sharing. And I know one of the questions I wanted to ask you is like, we've been married for 9 years. Like during our marriage, like, what do you think broke us at the time? What do you think broke us in our marriage?
In our marriage?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's no question. When we lost Deja, that broke us. And if any one of you guys that just dealt with grief, but grief is grief. Let's start there. But it's a different level and I don't want to say that either, but it's a different level when you lose a child, or you know, your children are supposed to outlive you. You know what I mean? But to the way we lost Deja, I think I think it broke my heart forever, and I think that's the part that was hurtful. That's what broke us, because it's like, you know, it's always that thought in your mind. It's like, man, you know, what if what if what if we, you know, how long, you know, these are the things that I used to think, um, you know, before I've gotten of course, a peace of mind. But at the time, it was just like, man, you know, we knew Deja was dealing with depression. We knew Deja was dealing with losses of your mother. That was heartbreaking. But um, the part that I think broke us is that me and you were bumping heads because of the loss. Um, and of course, this being your biological daughter was a tremendous heartbreak. And then, of course, you know, you got the stepfather who actually found her, and, you know, the heartbreak because of how much we put in to Deja's health, her mental health. The different, you know, um, different resources that we went to, behavioral, courses and counseling and everything that we went through, to ensure that Deja got the proper health, or the proper treatment. Sorry. Um, I think that was hurtful for us too, but once we started to bump heads, we clashed because it was like, we were blaming each other for it, like
a long time,
which is for a long time, which is so crazy, because it's like, when I think about it now, it's like, how could we be so selfish to be like that, like to literally blame each other, because both of us are hurting on different angles. It's like, you're hurting because this is your biological daughter, but I'm hurting because this is, my stepdaughter. But of course, the love is still there, and then also I'm the one who found the door, so it's like we're just both throwing darts, or why didn't you check on her before? It's just so many different things we were blaming each other for, and that broke us, because I think another piece that broke us is just the grief within you, period. Because you were numbing it yourself with alcohol to a level I didn't recognize you anymore. And I never forget that one time you came back with, you were with the homegirls, whatever. And you came back and you were so intoxicated. And I looked at you and I was like, oh, I don't recognize you. Because I just happened to be sober that day. Remember that?
Yeah.
I'll never forget that.
I remember.
It was so weird, because I'm usually the one that's drunk, but it's like, I'm looking at you and I'm like, and the way you were treating me at the time, even now I can still feel a little bit of it. It's like, man, that's crazy, because look what we have done to it. Look what alcohol has really done, or better yet, look at what the grief has done to us. It's shattered a big part of us. And not to go through the whole what ifs or whatever the case may be, but I mean, even me, I remember so many different times where a big part of us breaking was a lot with me, because of the drinking. It got bad. It got bad where I was binge drinking like every Friday night when I got home. I don't think we even spent that much time together. I was drinking. Like, I was literally just getting intoxicated. It's crazy, because I'm actually thankful that I actually made it to some of the events for the boys, and it's crazy, because, like, Rick's Tracks, I was still able to still be there for some, a lot of that stuff. But a big part of what broke us was definitely Deja.
Yeah.
Definitely the passing of Deja. That was, and even now, it's like I knew that I had to. For me, it was patience too, because it's like I knew I had to have patience with you, because you just had, you lost your mother, and then now you're losing your daughter. I knew deep in my heart that I had to have patience, but man, I was hurting too. So when I thought about it, I was like, man, how do I be there for her when I'm, pierced with a sword? So it was so hurtful, almost to the point where even friends of mine kind of like they didn't even know how to treat me because I was hurting that bad. I was drinking so much, and I was just in a bad space. So to answer your question, definitely was us losing Deja was definitely absolutely.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was gonna break us forever. I knew for sure. Like I was even planning in my mind, like, okay, like I want to get better with alcohol, but I don't know if me and my wife are gonna be. I don't know if me and Sarita are gonna be together anymore. I don't know if this is going to really break us, and I think it almost did.
Yeah,
I think it almost did.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I agree. I feel like with that question, I feel like when it comes to that, it was definitely my mother and my daughter. Like when I lost my mom, that was, I think that's where everything just started going downhill for me. I was treating my husband like, it was like, it was like, I treated him like I belittled him. I belittled him as a man, as a husband, as a leader. And when I was supposed to be, lifting him up and supporting him and being there for him, but I wasn't the wife that I should have been for him.
I don't think you could have been at the time.
No, it was a lot, because I watched my mother take her last breath. I watched my mom just like diminish, like just in a blink of an eye, like just how she slowly just went downhill, and
I was there for that too.
Yeah, my husband, he
right there with you.
Was there, and just seeing that, it broke me forever.
If you bless, say you blessed, I am blessed. If you bless, say you blessed, I am blessed. If you bless, say you blessed, I am blessed. Yes. Yeah. If you bless, say you blessed, I am blessed. If you bless, say you blessed, I am blessed. If you bless, say you blessed, I am blessed.